do gay bear guys look for gay bears, or they are having like absolutely diverse taste in men?
Even though I am this muscular bear type figure, it is not typically the first thing that I will shoot for when I used to look for a hookup.
Go for the
So,
face first. I think it's like, if I don't like your face, it doesn't matter how nice your body is.
Wait, and you chose me?
I mean, that was a long time ago. I get the feeling that the bear community is actually one of the friendliest and the most accepting. I think it's very easy to access compared to a lot of the other subcultures within the gay community.
my father beat me one evening, finding out that I was gay, and I ended up moving out at the age of 18. So that was a very traumatic ending for me and my family household. I had major heart surgery where my aortic heart valve was replaced with a bioprosthetic pig valve. In the world of bodybuilding, I can't go to certain levels. So this is exactly what I'm able to do. This is what my body allows me to do. And what I see from outsiders and what people tell me is that that's what they enjoy. I really enjoy your guys' line. It's straightforward. It's clean products that do what they're meant to do. And that's all I want. I don't want any of the fluff. I just love it.
Hi, I'm Azamat.
And I'm Oliver, and we're the founders of Friend of Dorothy.
In the latest episodes, we were exploring different communities in the gay culture. And today we have a representative of the bear community, one of our important influencers and users of our products, our friend Aaron.
Hey, you guys. I'm Aaron, Goldencalibear on IG. Nice to meet you all.
Welcome to the show, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hello.
Oh, God, that was deep, wasn't it? You sounded like a bear then. Hello.
We usually start our podcast asking our guests to tell a little bit about themselves.
Okay, so I actually, although I live in Manhattan, New York at this moment, I grew up in Southern California, and I grew up there till probably like the age of 20. I'm mixed race. I'm half black, half white. Raised in a Christian household, and my life growing up was not the worst. Certainly not the best, but it was a very interesting childhood growing up with in a biracial family. Growing up with an African American father, being gay was something very taboo. And
Mhm.
so something very not spoken about very much in our home. Although everyone knew I was gay, it was just something very spoken. Uh
You came out waving a flag?
no, actually, my coming out story was is just very archaic. So
No, I
what
meant you were born waving a little gay rainbow flag.
oh yeah, popped out with a purse in my mouth. But But coming out story was we had male pen pals like growing up. So I would write letters. I had found this guy and I was writing love letters to him. We were writing them back and forth to each other. And I would ask one of my friends in marching band to go deliver the mail to him, like through their mailbox, because I didn't want one of my parents to one day go check the mailbox and see that I was writing a letter to somebody that they didn't know. So one of these days, my mother came home and found one of the letters that was coming towards me because I used to kind of like retrieve them when I got off the school bus, got the mail, and I would read it later on in the evening. So later that evening, my mother had came into my room, showed me one of these letters, and I was hysterical. I was freaked out, really, really, really scared. And my mother was very loving and said she would love me forever, that she accepted me for who I was, and that was very loving and enduring. So, very grateful to have my mother, but still, that was still not a topic that I would ever discuss with my father until later, and that was a very traumatic effect. That ended up actually having my father beat me one evening, finding out that I was gay, and I ended up moving out at the age of 18. So that was a very traumatic ending for me and my family household. I still don't speak to my father, and quite rightfully, I'm actually quite fine with that. We're just not two people who see eye to eye, and that's okay with me.
If I can
Wow.
jump back to your love letters for a minute, just to lighten the mood again. Sorry. When you say love letters, I hope you
Oh
don't mind
God.
me prying. Are we talking love letters or are we talking sex letters?
Or God, God, how old was I? I must have been 13. I didn't know left from right. So it was probably just all the cutesy wootsy type of stuff. I wasn't deviant in nature at all at that age.
And
So
did you ever
maybe,
meet the person?
no, I did. So I was even able to schedule us to go to the same Christian summer camp. So that's where like my first sexual experience happened was with this individual because of all those love letters from finding them on a MySpace chat and yeah.
At the Christian love camp? Not love camp, Christian.
Christian getaway camp. I don't know. We'll
Oh,
just title
okay.
it that.
Oh.
Aaron, I actually wanted to double click on you having biracial family and you living
Hmm.
in south of California.
Hmm.
Was California at that time already kind of more liberated? And if you could also tell us, our viewers and listeners, a little bit more about what did it mean for you to live in biracial family?
So growing up in a biracial family, especially my father being an African American, like again, I will reinstate that, the gay thing was very taboo and also being very taboo, that word wasn't ever uttered much, or was there any things that were that were gay around us? And my father was more of the stricter character in our family dynamic, wanting us, to really excel in school. But I also was very self-driven myself. So that kind of helped. I wasn't really pushed to do much aside from doing sports. I do come up from a family who has been in the NFL, so playing football and all that stuff was very important to my family, and the strong sense of masculinity was really instilled into us boys, but that didn't really take with me. I went off to do other things. I ended up actually playing an oboe for years in an orchestra at Walt Disney Concert Hall, studied with David Weiss and LA Phil. I went on to do different things regardless of what my father was wanting to do, but even though I was good at football, it just wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
But we grew up in a pretty structured home, and for the gay stuff, it we just kind of tucked it under the rug for till I was 18.
And would you be okay to share the story of your father finding out that you are gay?
Oh God, that horrible day. So I had came home one day with my grandmother, and we were going to have a conversation with my father about, who I was as an individual. My father being there on the couch, my mother's mother was there with me, and we were all sitting on the couch, and I expressed who I was and how I've been uncomfortable for years, and this is who I am. So my father is huge. He's 365 pounds, 6'4", huge, muscular man, and just yanks my little Twinkie self at that age and just slams me against the wall and just starts bludgeoning me in the face repeatedly, right in front of my mother's mother. So that went on for a few minutes and then was able to escape and get away. The police came. It took about four police to get my father down. And then ever since that moment, I went to continue to live with my grandmother.
Wow.
Mm.
Very tragic moment for me. But, I'm 36 now. I've moved on from that. I've done a lot of personal work from it, and I've really just let that go.
The amazing. You're like so chilled in the way you explain it. You can genuinely tell you are at peace with it.
Thank you. Yeah, it wasn't easy. I went through a lot of struggles, and I would say 10 years after that with mental challenges and just trying to combat what had happened from my childhood. And today, like I really just want to enjoy my life.
Aaron, so what happens next? So you are moving out from your home, you're living with your grandma.
I decided there wasn't a lot of resources for me. So now, my grandmother didn't have a lot of money to like raise me or provide me with the necessity things that my family was able to give me. So I ended up actually moving to San Diego. during that time. So I ended up moving to San Diego and started going to San Diego Community College, which then ended me up to going to San Diego Culinary Arts, and that's where I got my culinary arts degree.
What about your gay lifestyle? Like, was it a fun time when you were feeling your best? You were liberated?
I would back in California, I got to see a lot of the club that experience a little bit over there, but I wouldn't say until like I moved into San Diego where like I started to open up and be a little bit more comfortable with who I am. I would say I was more of an ugly duckling when I was younger, and then I started to evolve later on into my mid 20s. So,
Into the stud that you are now.
yeah, so it took some time. So, finally when I had got to San Diego, I started to open up a little bit more, and my clubbing experiences and lifestyle there started to grow. That's where I started to in the beginnings of go-go dancing. And I think with going into the gay scene, with my past, I was very guarded. And I had a lot of those taboo things instilled in me as a kid where like gay is wrong, like it's even still hard for me today to watch like a gay independent movie about like gay love, just because like staying in a room with my parents where there might have been a gay scene on the television was completely traumatic because I just felt like all eyes are on me. So even till this day I still hold on to that. So going out to a gay club in the beginning, I was very uncomfortable. But along the way, I was able to meet some individuals that, kind of held me close to them and showed me the ropes and kind of help ease those negative thoughts out of me. And then, things just started to snowball from there. So I was starting to let go of those old ideals that didn't suit me and move into this new person and this person that I wanted to be. And the gay scene was fun. I had crazy amounts of fun in San Diego. And, not just San Diego, because in California, you have San Diego, LA, Palm Springs, and they're all within drivable distance. So I really got to submerge myself into a really wildly fun gay culture over there. So
And when you say the gay culture that you immersed in, what does it mean?
I feel that the gay culture here in the US it's really what what I'm going to choose it to be, because there's so many avenues that you could choose to submerge yourself in, some healthy, some not. And for somebody who was deprived in Christian school and hidden away from all that, like I went ape shit when I, got into the gay scene because I just wanted to do and touch everything.
Hmm.
I chose the wild sex parties, dark rooms, late night clubbing, circuit stuff. So I just wanted to do everything.
Hmm.
But, the naivety of being young and that's something that I thought gay culture was or gay clubbing had to be. But, as a young adult now, it is nothing like that for me. I lived in California in between San Diego, Los Angeles, and Palm Springs, and now I'm here in New York. So, like, I've been submersed into gay cultures that have so many different avenues and so many places of acceptance for you to be. And that's one thing I do love about the gay community is that there are these different groups of individuals. I belong to a kind of a bear culture type of thing, which I kind of promotes some of the calm or lax environment situations.
So if you had to explain to my grandma, and I'm from Kazakhstan,
Oh
what
God.
is the bear culture, how would you explain it to her?
I would say that it's a group of males who have a comfortability of their male physical form that doesn't need to be altered. And when I mean altered, I'm having a particular look that is presented in social media as what gays would look like. I would just say that it's just the natural male form that more loving and accepting. I actually explaining this to your grandma would be very, very difficult.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I don't think you should explain it to his grandma. She's very old, and I'm not sure she'll make it through the
e-
experience.
But
But
how about we do it the following way? Oliver, what do you think is the bear culture like? And Aaron will tell us if it's true or not.
Okay,
okay.
so I actually have a picture of it in my head. So first of all, I think of all the different communities that we've looked at while doing our podcast, I get the feeling that the bear community is actually one of the friendliest and the most accepting, in as much as I think it's very easy to access compared to a lot of the other subcultures within the gay community that you have to, like the party boys with all their shirts off and so on, where you need a certain type of body to be able to go and hang out with them.
Mhm.
And I would say it comes across as a very accepting part of the community. In my head, a bear is generally quite big, but I don't think you actually need to be that way to be included in the bear community and they will accept you. I don't think you necessarily need to be particularly hairy because there's also the variations of bears, such as otters and so on, which I think come into the same part of the community. Am I right or wrong there?
No, I say we could create subcategories off the bear culture, so you could have your otters and cubs and whatnot. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'd say they're all part of the bear community. Um, this next part might sound really bad, but I tend to think they like to drink beer, which is great. I love to drink beer. I don't know why, but in my mind, I think it's because in London, most of the bear bars are places not where you would go and necessarily have wine, but you might have beer and so on. So
Hmm.
for some reason, beer, I always associate drinking beer with bears in as much as the bars. Whereas like a circuit party, I envision everybody drinking vodka
Vodka
and
soda.
vodka soda, yeah. So they would be some of the preconceptions, whether they're right or wrong, I would have about the bear community. But ultimately, I think, especially from what I see on social media, I think it's very friendly. It comes across as one of the most friendly and welcoming types, and there doesn't seem to be any sort of body shaming, which I think in most categories, and I could be wrong, I could be completely, and that's why I say there doesn't seem to be. You go on to Grinder, and everybody's six packs and all of that, and there's just hundreds of them. And I think it's with the bear community, you can, as you say, be more realistic in your body type, and you can look how you want without worrying about being judged. Um,
And speaking in general, sure, I think we could say that. But I feel with it, even if you are a bear or if you're a muscle queen or something like that, in each pocket, there still is plenty of body shaming in the bear community. And and it's unfortunate to say that. With any group in any community that you choose to be in, I really try to judge off of individuality and which
same,
each
same.
group is saying one things I really love to do when when I'm going out to a club and trying to mingle with a new bunch of characters I haven't met before is just really listen. I could also feel myself being accepted into the twink community if there's a whole cluster of twinks that are very, kind and loving in nature, bringing it back to the bear community. I still think in a general sense of, the bear community is much more loving and accepting just from being outcast and body shamed and all that stuff. You've had to find other individuals to connect with and who've gone through certain experiences like yourself. So I feel that that's where the group forms is based off some of these, you know, identifiers that we've been shamed with. And so in a general sense, yes, I would say it is loving in that sense because, we've been kind of like thrown away from like the mass media image of like six packs and all that
Yeah.
hotness.
I
So,
have a question. You say there is body shaming within the bear community with some people.
mhm.
That's very hard for me to picture, in as much as what sort of body shaming?
Sometimes where you have a gay bear image body like myself, you know, I have a more physically fit form and, I work for it. But then you have a subcategory of the bear community where there are feeders and where they're midsections, all that stuff might be 4 times as large as I am. So, yes, are we both considered we're in the bear community? Sure. Is one probably viewed more sexually attractive than the other? I'll leave that up to you to decide. So, that's where I feel like the rub comes in is that you do get all these different body types that still kind of like lead to this God body persona that we all try to like I'll just speak to myself that I try to move myself to. And I feel for me personally, the further you fall from that image, the harder it is for you, unfortunately. I feel that's where, the shaming just gets tougher as you might
Interesting.
become larger.
And have you always been big and muscular and hairy type guy, or you went from
God
twink to
no.
transformed, or?
Yeah, so like when I was young, being thin was completely in, true religion genes, especially like in California. Being really skinny, spray tan, no body hair, no facial hair, like no completely different form of me. And I would say by the age of 21 is where I started to I picked up powerlifting and it was something that I was good at and I really enjoyed doing. So I continued that, and that's where my muscle started to build. I also think that my genetics, also being half African American, half white, also helped with my physical form growing. But I continued to power lift, and it's something that I really enjoyed, not just for the physical, but just for my psyche.
Mhm.
Working out also helps with my sleep patterns, my mood, and it was a way for me to not like be on any antidepressants. So it was a really healthy thing for me to do. So I just kept building and after a while you start getting a certain image and I started getting this certain attention which started to make my workouts and my body image more of a thing. Um
Mhm.
and that turned into something else.
So you were sort of a hot twink that grew into a hot bear. My question is this: when you were a hot twink, what sort of guys did you go for?
Oh God. I just
Anything?
still well, like I have a bit different, color wheel of things that I enjoy, but I enjoyed like that next door neighbor type of look. That was my thing I used to go for. I didn't feel like I was ever on the level to go for someone extremely hot, so I just kind of kept it in the middle.
Nice.
Um,
And would
and that
you
was just
say, as you've developed and you've become, for want of a better word, more bear-like, you've gone for more bear-type guys? Did your
it honestly it went all over the place. I think that's a misconception. I don't know, in my case because even though I am this muscular bear type figure, it is not typically the first thing that I will shoot for or look for when I'm, when I used to look for a hookup. So, I enjoy like the first quality I look on a guy is their face. You got to have a beautiful mug and your smile. Some guys look, very, very prominently on the body. It's the face because that's the first thing I have to wake up and look at and kiss all the time. That has to be in order.
I go for the
So
face first. I think it's like if I don't like your face, it doesn't matter how nice your body is. Like if I don't want to wake up and like be like, oh, yeah, you are again, sort of thing.
Wait, and you chose me?
I mean, I
you
did a
know
lot of
that
drugs when I
amazing.
was with you, Azamat. That was a long time ago.
I would consider my partner having like a cub bear body at this time. But it's really not the leading case for me. I guess if we're gonna label otters, otters are probably one of my other top ones there if we're gonna create that as a subcategory of the bear community. So that's a very hot form for me. And honestly, just like your average Joe body is very hot to me. Just somebody who kind of works out that's kind of health conscious is very attractive. You don't got to be going to the gym 5 days for me to find you attractive. So
Aaron, I have a question. So, speaking of community and inclusivity, I remember back in the days when I would download app called Growler, and I was like, okay, I am into bear community. Visually, I find them appealing. And then I was like, okay, but I don't understand why would I join Growler? I would be like alien, the Asian no hair guy. Maybe I'm like absolutely not welcome here. So I deleted profile and never came back. And then I think I was in Lisbon, and there's a gay bar, and I also felt like, oh, I'm curious to get inside to have a look. But then I felt like, okay, they would look at me like, what am I doing there? So I guess my question is, do gay bear guys look for gay bears, or they are having like absolutely diverse taste in men?
Well, I believe all communities have a verse taste in men, 100%. I feel when you are going to mass gathering outings and people are with individuals within their group, they are unlikely to reach out to the thing that they would most enjoy in judgment of what their friends or others might say or think about them while they're in their presence. So, one of my experiences is that I might go out to a club experience and all that stuff to an event that might not be, my group, my people. And those individuals won't say a word to me. I might get some stares back and all that stuff from being very different, but it's always those same guys that hit me up on the apps later who are wanting me to come over just because they're in their groups of people. So it just drives me wild. So I'm saying, find your own joy. Go to all the fucking events you fucking want to, because if somebody really wants you, they're going to find a way to get to you. So that's
Uh-huh.
just always been my mentality, is just like stand out and just be the person that you're gonna be, because someone may not think I belong. I belong, I'm enough. So that's so in your case, in going to that bar, like I'm glad you went to that bar. You might get some looks and all that stuff, but I'm pretty sure there were plenty guys at that bar that do find you attractive and would have wanted to sleep with you. So it's just unfortunate when you put gays in these mass groups that their personalities change and their individualism just goes out the window just in fear of judgment.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you don't stop yourself from either going to the bear events or going to the bear bars. Is that correct?
100%. And if you're not comfortable with going alone, go with a friend that supports you. Have like a backup plan. But, I would say if that's what you want to do, don't deny your joy.
Going onto your social media for a minute, you have a huge following.
Hmm.
Yeah? Like, huge.
Yes.
How and why? I find your social really interesting. But yeah, I want to hear your opinion on why so many people are following you.
Oh gosh, I think it's just a culmination of many things over a period of time. Like, have I had a OnlyFans? Yes, I have had a OnlyFans. I have taken it down. I no longer do that. I'm in a monogamous relationship with my partner, and that's just something that we just don't open our doors to anymore. I found the love of my life, and so that ended up closing. So a following from that. I do have like a little Blue Sky account. There's not much on there, but little followings from that. My partner is a producer. And actually, one of the things that got me into getting into social media and creating content was my partner. So when we had met, I wasn't really big into social media just because it can be very toxic and time consuming, especially. But he kind of pushed me to like put myself out there a little bit more, and that I might have the potential to do more as promoting and stuff. So he was the catalyst of starting that. So we both have similar looks, we're bearish. And so a lot of his followers started to become my followers. And then from there, I started to get promotions from all these other companies. One of my favorites is Alphonse Dovina.
The
Um,
second
I,
favorite is Friend of Dorothy.
for clothing, Alphonse Dovina, you guys provide an amazing like array of different products and health products that I'm using Daddy right now. It's in my medicine box that I take every single morning. So the Daddy Stamina.
Yep.
So I really enjoy your guys' line. It's straightforward. It's clean products that do what they're meant to do, and that's all I want. I don't want any of the fluff. So it's you guys package and do everything it's so pristinely, and I just love it. So my followers just, I would say a lot of my following is based off my body image. So, a lot of my more sexier, enticing photos are probably what brings most of my following. My backside does get, a lot of followers when I post something.
A lot of
So
likes.
Yeah, so that's working for me. So,
I've
and
liked
it
I've liked
just
your backside a few times.
I really appreciate that. So I that's just how everything started to grow, and it just continues to keep growing.
What I love about it is it's real. It's all positive. Like
Mm,
it's such your social media, and I think that's the one thing. If I, as somebody looking at it, and like it all feels very positive in you as a person, but also like there's this element of body positivity towards it,
mm.
which you don't often see. I think within the gay community, it can feel quite excluding, and I think that's why I originally started following you, and told our team to reach out. But
I try to keep it as authentic as I can and not edit it as possible. Yes, there are some edits. It's me in my home, and I do photo shoots and all the other stuff with other designers and promoters that I really enjoy doing. But I would say that my social media is a reflection of my life. I enjoy working out. I have a great life with my pen. Honestly, my body image would be a lot different and probably even more physically fit if I didn't have some of the physical ailments that I have. Back in 2019, I had major heart surgery where my aortic heart valve was replaced with a bioprosthetic pig valve. And I've had 3 heart attacks since then. I'm actually on heart strengthening medications full time. In the world of bodybuilding, I can't go to certain levels because of where I'm at. So this is exactly what I'm able to do. This is what I'm comfortable with. This is what my body allows me to do. And what I see from outsiders and what people tell me is that that's what they enjoy. And that just brings me a lot of joy because it has been a struggle to get to this point. So I just want to continue promoting that body positivity and enjoyment of myself and keep pushing that agenda forward.
Aaron, I have a question. So you've mentioned the health issues and big following. I guess it at some point it can put a lot of pressure on you in terms of keep going, in terms of getting bigger. And I was wondering, did it at some point, I don't know, crash you or
100%. So, at the end of the day, my goal is to live a long, healthy life with my partner that's joyful and full. Like that is the goal. I found my person. That is what I want to do.
yeah,
So at the end of the day, I always have to remind myself that this is where I'm at, and this is as much as I can do. I'm not safe from having intrusive thoughts of not being enough and all that stuff. I think we all go through that. As confident as I am throughout my day, like I still think like, oh, I may not be big enough, or I need to do this with my body, or what happened if I did, muscle enhancers and all that stuff. It all takes away from my main goal of I want to live a long life, not a short life. I want to live a long life with my partner. And to make sure that I do that, I have to do this, this, and that. And right now, I'm getting, the validation and the attention I want and that I crave.
speaking of our products, you've already mentioned Daddy Stamina. Why do you like it?
I think that it just gives me a different glow in the more like throughout the day. Like it has a lot of health properties where it just makes me feel better. I forget the seaweed compound in there.
It was Scottish before, but now
Hmm.
we've upgraded our recipe. Now it's Irish seaweed, and we've added 4 more ingredients, including bromelain, which improves taste of your semen.
I love this. My partner would love to thank you as well. So, but you guys supply like a great healthy product that I enjoy taking. It's packaged beautifully and it's just meant for all aspects of my life. So there's nothing not to love about it, and it's reasonably priced, so I enjoy that as well.
Are there any other products that you enjoy apart from Daddy Stamina?
Well, going off your broccoli content right there, I do enjoy your cum product. That does help me produce a little bit more, and the guys downstairs in the family jewels. So those are always really great. That zinc
family
compound.
jewels.
Yeah, that zinc compound really does give you like an extra boost. So I really
Yeah.
do enjoy that.
Okay, I actually have 2 more questions that I wasn't planning to ask you, but it's just a little bit of market research. Aaron, so we have Lube, which is called Bum Lube, And we
Oh,
are
hold
now
on.
reading.
So this one.
Yes,
Hmm.
it's a link that we've created with Oliver, I think more than a year ago. And now we are in the creative process of finding a new spin on it. And we were actually curious, what are you looking for at the loop?
When I'm choosing lube, I'm looking for quantity for my price. I'm usually looking for something scentless. I know that there's some other brands that introduce clove to their products for like anal lubes and all that stuff, and that just reminds me of a clove cigarette. I just can't do that. And as less friction as possible is what I'm looking for. Also, easy to clean up. Like, I don't have time to throw down a sheet every single time when I'm getting to business, so something that's easy to like clean and wash.
So, but do you go for water-based or silicone?
It depends. Both are fine with me. If I'm gonna go for a longer period of time, I'm probably gonna choose a silicone product. And if it's gonna be a short, quick thing, I'm probably gonna use something that's water based.
We're discussing to create an underwear brand, Friend of Dorothy. Do you prefer jock straps or strings?
Like a thong.
A thong, yeah.
I enjoy all of them. And I actually my favorite thing right now is a jock thong combo. Just so like you have like the hot look of the thong and there's the lift of the jock. I'm obsessed with that. Um, but if I had to choose one, it's always going to be a jock.
I'm always surprised when people choose jocks. I'm like, I don't get the point behind them. I don't think they're sexy. And I'm like, I want a full pair of underwear. Maybe it's just because I'm in my dad phase of life, but I'm like, I want a full pair of underwear that goes around my legs and keeps my bum warm. It's cold here in winter.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, jock straps frame the ass in a beautiful way. So it's right,
And
Aaron?
when I'm thinking of aesthetically and I'm going out in all angles of my body, like a jock is the one that lifts and keeps everything just where I want it. Like I could wear a thong, but then I don't know where that's good angle wise from where someone might be standing. But if I have both, I get best of both worlds and I'm very happy.
Fair. Love it. Aaron, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this podcast. We really
It's been
appreciate
an
you
absolute
doing that.
pleasure.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you so much for using our products as well and your feedback on them. It's been absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you both as well. I really appreciate you guys having me on today, and I'm going to continue to keep using your products.
Cool. Thank you.